to the Boise State Esports Arena. Today you join us for the much anticipated Mountain West Finals, where Boise State competes in Rocket League and Smash Bros. For a chance to bring back another Mountain West Championship trophy. However, they have a tough opponent in San Jose State University, who have been ready to face the Broncos on their own home turf today. My name is Audrey Norris, and I am joined by Janner Hill here to discuss in Boise State Esports Studio to discuss this exciting upcoming match. As we're ready to get jumping into this, both of these teams have had a long road up until this point. Let's take a look back at the season to get a better idea of what these two teams are capable of.
Out of the ball of Washington State, SJSU trying to set up a shot, but three Washington State defenders aren't there to stop any sort of momentum.
But looks like Kyan's coming in from the top ropes. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful goal.
2 minutes here. As you can see there, 40 seconds of in-game time. It's all it takes for these two to score. The dynamic duo of Ace and BU get from San Jose State. They were able to put up a goose egg in the first game here and looking to continue that on over here.
I mean, SJSU proving why a good offense is a good defense. Oh my goodness, I can't even speak right there. As the save from Ace. Oh my goodness, they are keeping us on the edge of our seats right now. Kyan barely missing his fit scores, and Washington State leashing
Washington State trying to just shove a dagger into that Achilles heel right now of that SJSU defense, which has been so prominent right now.
Potential shot on goal, it's very scary. Venom defending, BU looking for it. Kyan almost set up perfectly for it as BU again looks for it and finds it. Oh my god, it hits it. It's
These teams have had some incredible lineups, plays, and history throughout Rocket League, both to just be prepared for each season and for the culmination of this Mountain West Championship. So I think it's going to be really cool to see what they've been doing and maybe some of the strengths and weaknesses that they have that might factor into the gameplay today.
Yeah, and looking back at that package, we can really see, how much San Jose stepped up in that match. I mean, it was against a very tough Washington State team. And I mean, they did a great job. They took it all the way to the five games that they were scheduled to play, and they played, to their strengths. They did awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, looking at everything that they had, it was not an unexpected win, but something that, up until the end, no one really knew who was going to be facing Boise State. Was it going to be Washington State, or was it going to be San Jose? So it is going to be, I think, one of, again, those wild card matchups where going into this championships, we see that anything is possible because we didn't know where we were going to be at today.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing about Rocket League, though. I mean, within the entirety of a series that you have, whether it's 5 or 7, as long as there's time on the clock, anything can happen.
Yeah, but with that though, going into this, we do have to ask the question of what do we think are going to be some of the biggest factors? I mean, looking at the team lineup, we have BU, Ace, and Kyan, which we saw some incredible gameplay from already going into that matchup, catching Washington State off guard and getting a lot of really incredible goals off of them.
Yeah, and just like we were talking about, we have that lineup of BU, Ace, and Kyan. And I feel like what helped them out in that Washington State game was that they were able to utilize each other a lot on the offensive front. They were passing to each other a lot, and it wasn't that many solo plays.
Now I'm jumping into Boise State. We also have Emiliano as Durtho. We've got our other players with Gil, and just an incredible lineup going up for the Boise State team. I think what'll be interesting too is we know that the San Jose team does have a lot of experience with a couple of their players playing since around 2015. That is a long time to be playing the game and a long time to be building up your skills.
Yeah, that's a lot of hours you need to dedicate to this game, and ultimately it's what leads to the best players.
Yeah, and Boise State has a lot of experience as well with our team being slowly crafting their skills and building up their plays and chemistry as a team for quite a long time as well.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, you've seen Gil. He's been on the team for at least the past 4 or 5 years. I mean, Durtho within the last 2 years, and then Woozy also. I think his first season was last year. I mean, all of them, they have extended hours on this game, and as a team as well, they have that much more chemistry together.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to San Jose for a little bit, though, too, I think that one of the other fun things about all of these teams is not just the fact that they play the game together and that Rocket League is one of their top games, but all of the other games that they like as well. We've been looking into the teams, what their favorites and preferences are, and besides all of the stuff that they do within this, I personally think one of the things I love about the team from San Jose is that, as we were talking about favorite games, histories, we've seen from some of them just a lot of the stuff that they like besides that, you know, one of their favorite games being Adobe Photoshop. So a wonderful group to be joining to compete against the Broncos here. But within that, Boise State has also had some incredible wins earlier on in the season, including a spectacular performance in the CECC West Regionals. Let's take a look at the Broncos' incredible victory in that event.
Practice, review, and competition, the Broncos are finally ready to make the trip to Sacramento for the CECC West Regional. The CECC experience is a cornerstone of the season's goals set by the squads of Valorant, Rocket League, Overwatch, Smash, and Street Fighter VI. Last year, Boise State qualified for the May Madness event in Arlington, the national championship bracket featuring the top 16 teams in each primary game. Having consistently earned their place at the event in past years, the Sacramento qualifier remains one of the most critical stepping stones. Securing a spot at one of the 4 regional qualifiers not only guarantees a berth at May Madness, but also provides a coveted first-round bye and top seed. The Broncos have reached the finals before, but each new season starts from scratch. As Doc Haskell says, we have to earn it.
We don't get the team we want, we get the team we build. We don't get the culture we want, we get the culture we build.
Earning their place at the CECC West Regional in Sacramento has been the mission of the Broncos since training camp began in September. Rocket League emerged from the online qualifier with the first seed, but the other squads face tougher paths. Overwatch enters the event as the 4th seed out of 8. Valorant is the 6th seed, and the Smash squad making their first ever CEC as the 8th seed. Meanwhile, Boise State Street Fighter VI players Corey Kotak and Sebastian Leeper are at the top of their bracket. But the competition is fierce across all titles. Traveling with a group of 25 students and coaches is no small task. The Broncos understand that, as a premier Division I program, all eyes will be on them. Doc insists that all players arrive in full kit, from headsets to shoes, to ensure they leave a lasting impression.
What up, crew?
At Boise State, the iconic look, complete with a different jersey for each day, is essential. During the player send-off, staff meticulously double-check every piece of gear to ensure players are fully prepared for the trip. Traveling for esports is a rare privilege that the Broncos treasure. Since most matches can be played online, traveling to compete face-to-face is a skill in itself. Seasoned Boise State veterans like Carter Jones, Jenny Cummins, Ian Perfit, and Emiliano Flores help ensure their teammates are ready for what lies ahead, even if that's just a quick nap or some downtime with the team. The team then meets to review the ever-changing schedule. Meanwhile, Doc has already visited the competition facility to confirm their practice times and identify any last-minute surprises in the setup. Since the equipment and environment at LAN events differ dramatically from the team's usual setups at home, in dorms, or even the Boise State facility, communication is key.
We don't play on tablecloths, and they do bunch.
Players are encouraged to clearly express their needs and avoid falling into patterns of BCD, blaming, complaining, defending. By staying above the line, the Broncos take ownership of what needs to happen for every member to perform at their best. While the teams scrimmage and fine-tune their setups, tournament organizers ask Doc to give an interview.
Members on every single game, on all 5 of our games here at CCC, you have at least one team or one member on it. That's impressive for this program in itself.
We're thrilled to be here. I mean, honestly, this is the path that we build our year around. So we weren't going to miss.
A unique highlight of the CECC experience is the custom printed jerseys provided to each player. Sponsored by McDonald's of Northern California, these jerseys are a favorite among teams. The jersey ceremony offers players a moment to be recognized by their peers and enjoy some camaraderie.
I think one of the most exciting today is not only is it the championships, but here in the Boise State Esports Arena, we have a live audience for the Boise State team. And although San Jose couldn't join us today, that does beg the question. Competing online is one thing, but playing in an actual arena where people cheering you on is quite another. Out of these two teams, who do you think is going to hold up with the environment, considering it's a completely different environment for both of them?
Yeah, I mean, San Jose, they couldn't make it today, but they are still playing in spirit. But I think that with the live audience for Boise State, I think that's going to be a benefactor to them. I think that, they're going to bounce off of that, the live reactions. I think they're going to bounce off of the morale boost that they're going to get from them, all the cheering, all the cowbells and everything. I think they're going to benefit from that. I think they're going to be playing even better.
I do think they have to be careful, though, because an arena can be a very good moral boost, yeah, but at the same time, that's still lights, noise, people, movement, other just different obstacles that could become a problem. And San Jose does have the advantage right now of they're online, they're virtual, they get to create whatever environment they want, whatever they might be most comfortable in. And right now, Boise State doesn't get to choose that. So although I do love the idea of a live audience, I think it could be interesting to see whether or not any of those factors might become an issue. Though I always prefer the lights and the music. I think it makes it a lot more fun for me personally, but as a player with that interesting just extra element, it can put the challenge on. And there has been much discussion about the home field advantage that the Broncos carry in traditional sports. So maybe that might factor in. Do you think it might hold true for esports as well?
I think so. I think that, being able to play in, your hometown in front of your home crowd, everybody knows you. I think that can bring a lot more confidence to these players going into it.
Yeah, and especially since Boise State plays in the arena all the time, there is that level of familiarity. Though, the environment will be a lot louder and a little bit more crazy than we have all the time. It is that idea that, being in your home turf, being able to celebrate with other people can be through the game. And in anything, if you do end up winning it all, it makes the victory a lot sweeter.
Yeah, and I think the only difference between these two teams, honestly, is the home field, or is the crowd, I should say, because these BSU players, they're familiar with this place. They know what they're doing. They log in. They're ready to go. And I could say the same thing about the San Jose team because they're in their familiar state. They don't have to travel and be in somewhere new. They're in their home.
Yeah, so both in their home field, maybe the home field advantage isn't quite as relevant as we thought because even with it, the Broncos still have a tough match ahead of them, and they haven't been flawless this season either. Earlier this season, they had an unexpected loss in the PEC against Michigan State, so let's see how all of that transpired. You know, regardless of how much time and effort and hours you put into a game, every match is going to be different, and there's undeniable, like, changeable factors in every game that can cause a loss that you're not always expecting. So for the Broncos to take a loss that they probably weren't expecting to take, it's an interesting thing to wonder how that might affect them today, or what factors could be similar that could lead to San Jose being able to gain an advantage over Boise State.
I have no doubts that San Jose has probably looked back at that game and said, okay, what did they do wrong? What can we capitalize on? But I also think that with that loss being so far back, I think that it's given the BCU team enough time to, you know, recoup, regather, make sure that they can fix what happened and make sure it never happened again.
Yeah. Speaking of, like, what might have happened, are there any thoughts on maybe some of the things that could have been those advantages that San Jose might be looking to exploit?
I think that from the package that we just saw, I feel like there was a lot of times where Boise State was stuck on defense, and in turn they were low on boost a lot of the times, and it led to some goals for Michigan State. And I feel like it's a matter of making sure that you can have enough boost to make the save and try and get it clear, but you just have to make sure that those rotations are constant.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're struggling resources, and as we saw in the package too, the amount of saves that were, like, for one of the WSU players, well, no, the Michigan players, that is quite a challenge to deal with. Low on resources, stuck on defense, and then anytime you get an opportunity, you're denied. That's not only just a frustrating thing to have, but that slowly breaks down your morale until you really don't have a lot that you can work with.
It does, and in that best of five series, it was in favor of Michigan State 3-1. So Boise State couldn't quite regain to make it a close 3-2 or even a 3-2 in favor of them. It was just they got caught out.
Yeah, and with that factor in play, we'll have to see if San Jose chooses to exploit that or use anything like that. But transitioning away a little bit from Rocket League and more to the idea of Bronco football, we have been seeing a lot of interesting just developments from our own team, with Ashton Jeanty being one of the undeniable stars of the Boise State offensive game. He has become one of the most well-known collegiate players in the country. In esports, Emiliano Durtho Flores holds a similar reputation for our Boise State team for his Rocket League game. And comparing the two of them together, who do you think stands taller for Boise State, Durtho or Jeanty?
That is a really tough question, because you have Durtho leading this Rocket League team, and he has for the past 2 years, and he's making sure that they can go to these championship games and they can get these titles, and he is the man for this team. He is getting, you know, every bit of a clip that he can, making sure that he can, you know, just carry, honestly. But then you got Jeanty getting 2,000 rushing yards on an average season, and he's putting up about 200 yards a game. He is the front runner for Boise State football, and he's done an amazing job.
Yeah, I think both of them, in a way, they kind of give us a full spectrum for Boise State, right? If you know Boise State esports or esports in general, you're going to have heard about Durtho. And if you're a big fan of football, you're going to heard of Jeanty. So in a way, maybe neither of them is going to be able to take the title of who stands taller, but kind of take it together to give Boise State a good showing in all of the sports that we kind of throw around.
Yeah, and I think both of them are just really good representations of Boise State. I mean, they've been able to carry their teams to these conference championships, make them known, make them, you know, seem like the big guys. I mean, they're top of their conferences easily.
Yeah, they're helping Boise, well, just showing Boise State everything they can do, and it's making Boise State proud and just giving us a great reputation to have and hold. However, Rocket League is not a one-player game, and we've got a lot of incredible players, including one of our big developments for the Broncos is the reinduction of Gabriel Gill Reynolds, who is back on our Rocket League team to help us run to this potential victory in the championships. Gill is one of our most experienced players on the Boise State roster. In fact, he's been around with the program for so long that some people have been asking, and it might be an important conference for this championship match, is Gill washed?
I'm going to say no, mainly because he's always on the grind. He never puts down the game, and even when he's not on the main roster, he is always putting in hours and making sure that he can stay up with those other guys. And I think coming in for the season, the entirety of it, he's been able to showcase that. I mean, he's leading in saves, in 1.4 saves a game. He is that reliable third man you can have as a team.
Yeah, and you talk about him being the reliable third man. I think something about Rocket League that makes it hard is we're almost always following the ball, right? Like, it's that's what's going on. Where's the ball? Where are the players? Where are the goals that we're trying to get? But Gill kind of ends up being a dark horse, I think, for the team sometimes, because when we aren't able to follow the ball going onto the offense, it's almost always because he's bouncing it away from Boise State's goal. He is one of the strongest players for the goal defense, and he's always there to back up his team and allow them to set up those shots. So Gill washed? I kind of doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the same boat. He proves himself every game that he is not washed by any means.
Yeah. And as we're getting ready to set up and get ready for these games, you know, we can talk about sports and we can talk about both football and esports and Rocket League all we want. But, you know, I think a real determiner, a real question to answer to see how we might come up on top is we like to ask these really tough questions, you know. So which team's state is prettier, California or Idaho?
Once again, another tough question because I mean, here in Idaho, I mean, sure we have the bias here.
I mean, you and I talked about it. We grew up here, we were born here, so like we've lived in Idaho our whole lives.
We have the city trees. Once it hits fall, it gets beautiful out here with all the colors. But the other thing you got to think about is that California, they have Long Beach, they have the ocean side, and they also have some mountains and forests as you get farther west.
Yeah. See, you bring that up, and I am a big fan of Idaho. I love the trees. I love the mountains. I love the fresh, cold air when we get up into the higher elevations. It's beautiful. But you bring up the beach, and I do have a soft spot for the beach. Now, California isn't typically where I go for my beaches. It's Oregon most of the time, Washington, Oregon area. But a nice warm beach with sand, that's a pretty tough thing to beat. Though I do think that the temperature might keep me away. I like my mixture of warm to cold here in Idaho, but the beaches are really nice.
Yeah, they are. I think I was looking at the weather the other day, and I think in Huntington right now, not right now, but it's still in like the 50s and 60s compared to here where we're mid-20s.
Right? I mean, yeah, you talk about that. If we had to like compare current weather with all the fog currently surrounding the arena and Boise downtown, maybe California would be the preferable spot to be hanging out in. At least we'd be able to see where we're walking right now.
Right.
Though the forests are still going to be something that we'll return to eventually. So we are getting really close to the start of our championship match. And as we, you know, are getting to kind of compare all of our teams, the players on our football, and of course the different states' just general features, we're going to be, before we get going into this match, bring in our two shoutcasters into the Boise State Esports Arena and have a roundtable discussion for our official predictions of the match.
Thank you very much, Rune. Yes, and now this is the time where I'm Jacob Palmer. I'm joined by Bryce here, talking all of the action that we are just about to see in this Mountain West Championship match. And we're going to bounce back and forth between all of us as all four of us give our championship predictions for the game. Bryce, I'll give you the honor of going first of what you think is going to happen.
This is going to be a little bit more difficult because I got to set the stage. But looking at both of these teams objectively, they have had some really blowout wins. And also, when they lose, it's also because of big-time mistakes as well. But a lot of their losses came a little bit earlier in the season. I got the honor to talk to a
And you know, I mean, we can talk all like win, lose, who's going to get the championship, who's not, but I want to talk about a little bit more of like the smaller details, the kind of fun stuff. Who do you think is going to get the first hat trick?
Ooh. You know, I'm going to go oddball here. I'm going to go Woozy.
Woozy?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people would expect Dirtho.
Yeah, but when you look at the stats, I was out crunching numbers, and Woozy leads in both goals and shots. He is on the ball most of the time, and I feel like he's going to be the one to really put some pressure on San Jose.
Yeah, so pressure on San Jose through Woozy to potentially get the hat trick. Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, I mean, in this type of championship match, right, the hat trick is going to be one of those first big moments of like, yeah, we got our 3 points, and one player got all 3 of those 4. So I think that would be a fun thing to see from just both teams. You know, I think San Jose could get it first, though.
Yep.
There is totally a possibility there where they might just sneak in and surprise Boise State before they can get all their goals in. I mean, it's just a matter of preventing one player from doing it 3 times, right?
Yeah, seriously, and I think that with their win against Washington State, I think this is going to be the best form San Jose has been in the entire season. I mean, compared to when they played Boise State last, they had lost in a sweep. But I think now that we're seeing a different force that's coming out of them, I think it's going to be a lot closer of a series.
Yeah. All right, you heard it from the studio. We're looking for who's going to be the first hat trick, and it seems like Woozy is on the docket. I wonder what the thought from the shoutcasters that are going to be calling all the action is.
The one thing I have to say is, I got to say, I do not think it will be a sweep. I will be confident in saying that. I do think that whoever wins is going to have their tenacity tested, their endurance tested. I think at least 1, maybe 2 games is going to be taken away from the winning team. But I will be very impressed if we do see a sweep.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be one of the closest games of the season, in my opinion. A lot of the Rocket League games we've seen have been really good sweeps between one team or another. But when you have 2 of the best teams in the conference going against each other, you're going to be really hard-pressed to find a
sweep. But I do think it is going to be Boise State who edges out, if only by just a little bit.
Yeah, I do have to agree with you. I would say, though, in an official scoreline, I'm going to be a little bit more on the optimistic side. I'm going to say 4-1 is the final scoreline. I'm going to go 4-1.
4-1. Yeah, I would be inclined to agree. I'd honestly bump it up to 4-2. San Jose has shown that they have been able to put up against Boise State's offense and get through their defense as well, which is an incredible skill against such a well-balanced team. And I think it's going to come down a lot closer than what we're all thinking.
Well, I think that is going to be it for our predictions. Just one final toss to you and Danner for any final thoughts you have, Audrey.
Sounds like the arena is fairly confident that the 4-2, 4-1 win might be a potential thought. So any final thoughts on the predictions? Maybe who will get the first match win? Like who's going to set the precedence and kind of set the pace?
I think Boise State's going to be able to come out strong and fiery in this first game. I think they're going to get the first win, and I also think that they're going to be able to win this series. I'm going to follow the example of Jacob and Bryce. I think that it's going to be roughly a 4-1 win for Boise. What do you think?
Whew, I think that's a tough one. I mean, we are in the Boise State arena right now. I think that if Boise State were to be able to get this would be their chance at another championship title, and that is a pretty big deal for them. Yeah. San Jose is kind of that wild team that we're not really sure what to expect since we weren't sure that who was going to be winning. So I think it'll be a big thing, especially with the fact that we do know that not all of their top players have been playing. So I think they're going to give Boise State a run for their money, and we'll have to see how that ends up going, though. Let's see if the Broncos are able to have a strong showing and start this match off strong with a first game win.
Absolutely. And I think that's about all we can talk about here. We're going to have to send it back.
Yep. Send it back to the Shoutcasters as we continue our coverage of this matchup.
Alrighty, thank you very much, and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. The time has come for the Grand Championship in the Mountain West. Boise State ready to face off against San Jose State University. And Bryce, you know, the thing that comes to mind for me is that the one thing that was not mentioned in the pregame show that I do have to say is that there's a little bit of an extra aura in the air for the Boise State Broncos, mainly because yesterday there were not any goalposts in the Boise River, and now there are. So it's like coming off of what happened last night in the Football Mountain West Championships. Do the Broncos feel any bit of that extra pressure?
I'd imagine they feel a little bit more pressure just to keep up the winning streak like we just saw with the win against Las Vegas for our football team and the Mountain West Championship win for our Madden team as well with the Boise State Esports Association. But I honestly think that they don't really feel the pressure. I mean, look behind us. We got tons of people out here to support, and I think that's going to be the morale booster Boise State needs in order to pull out this win.
Well, it's always great to have a full crowd in the arena cheering the Broncos on, but at the end of the day, it always comes down to those fundamentals, those keys to the game, if you will, that every team needs to follow no matter what the circumstances in order to win. And so we are going to go to the Mountain West Championship. Our own head coach Doc Haskell has his keys to the game for Boise State and how they can pull out a victory here tonight. And normally, the keys to the game follow those Rocket League fundamentals that we always bring up every single game. Create mistakes, punish overcommits, play off the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Those are all brought to you by Boise State Esports and Idaho Central Credit Union, who believe a great team can carry a great player can carry a team to victory, just how like Idaho Central Credit Union helps its members achieve financial success. So we're all ready to jump into this game. One of the reasons why we say endurance might be a testing feature here is that this is a best-of-7 game. Each of the rounds are 5, but with goals and kind of general downtime, you know, that's easily 7+ minutes. So we're going to be here, you know, for 45 minutes to an hour probably here, and playing the game at this intensity level against this tough opponents really takes a lot of stamina, you know, once you're 30 minutes in and it still hasn't been decided.
Yeah, I feel it all the time, and I'm not even the one playing the game. But I will say, we have seen time and time again, not just from our Boise State team, but also from San Jose, that they know how to put up with the pressure and they have the mental fortitude to keep going. The real question is, who is going to break first as we move in to game 1?
All right, here we go. It's the Broncos versus the Spartans in the Fall 2024 Mountain West Rocket League Finals. If Boise State wins this, they will have won a Mountain West championship in esports 14 times. They're looking for their 14th trophy overall, third this year, if you count, what we just got yesterday in football. But off we go to virtual car soccer, and both teams already fighting fiercely for the ball. Woozy has possession of it, a block from Ace as the demo goes on to Cayenne. Gill with the follow-up right off of the front post. Can Durtho get a quick follow-up himself? He will place a shot on goal, but the save will be there for the Spartans. Woozy with another follow-up, but even though Boise State has a lot of shots on goal, they just haven't been accurate enough to be on the board yet.
Yeah, Spartans taking it back to Boise State home turf. Durtho is able to get that ball right off the crossbar. Not able to be reciprocated by Gill, but luckily Woozy's right there on the wall, ready to intercept. But what's this? Ace trying to get the ball back, but BU is going to be the one to get that ball away from Boise State, fighting for that ball in the mid-ground. Everybody's a little bit low on boosts, except for Durtho, who's up in the air, blocked by Ace, just barely almost getting that into the goal. Hill also there to reset the ball. BU is hanging out around Cayenne, playing a little bit of defense as we move back to Boise State home turf.
Woozy now is going to bounce off of the wall as Durtho places one onto the goal, and BU will be there with the save. Pretty solid defense so far for the Spartans as Ace puts it off to the corner, trying to set up a clear pass. Gill will body block him, try to keep the side control going for Boise State as a shot goes off the wall. BU ready to pass in midfield, but a demo onto BU from Woozy is going to put a lot of pressure onto Ace to make the shot. He doesn't get a good 50, and now this is a huge opportunity for the Broncos going forward.
Woozy taking that ball right back to the corner where he seems to like it just this season. They've been able to get a ton of good plays off of that portion. Gill gets the ball out, but is blocked by Bizu. Just barely. What good defense out of the Spartans. Boise's able to get that ball up, but not quite to the goal just yet. Spartans are playing a really good defensive game, but here comes Woozy. Oh, just barely. Durtho with the save.
There you go.
First goal goes to Boise State, 1-0.
And exactly a textbook example of where you want to position these shots. Upper left corner, Cayenne doing the best to try to commit on it, but it's just half second too late. And it's those split-second delays that are everything in this game.
Yeah, Woozy is not going to get the ball to start. It's going to go to Cayenne, but luckily it's reciprocated by Boise State. Back to that corner, but Durtho's there to receive the ball, and he's taking it right back to him. BU trying to play a little bit of defense. Durtho almost gets it over him. Ooh. Cayenne is able to get that defense. He is doing a pretty good job just staying in that goal line. Gill is unable to follow up, but they still have it on their side of the on their side of the field, going back to Boise's side. Durtho, full-on boost, gets the ball back out of that corner and right back into Spartan territory. Can he get the goal? Ace right there with a really good save.
He's been the #1 defender for the Spartans so far. 3 goals so far in this game, and we are officially past the halfway mark. Boise State leading 1-0. Durtho now going with the double touch, trying to push it under Ace. Ace will be right there with the save, picks up on boost, and immediately transfers back into the counter attack. But he can't play it around Gill. Instead, it's going to get Durtho, who beats Cayenne on the 50. It's just going to bounce off the front post yet again. But Durtho showing why he's one of the premier Rocket League players in the country. His ability to control the ball in mid-air is completely unmatched.
Yeah, Durtho getting that secondary boost, denying the Spartans a way to get in. Woozy just barely missing the ball. That was right open for him, just barely nudged off. Gill's able to take that ball out of the air right towards Ace. It's on Boise's turf. Can they get the defense? They do. Woozy and Gill taking that ball right over to Spartans. They now have control of this ball, and they need to get it right back over to their side of the field. Woozy taking that ball right towards center court. Durtho with the offensive, misses Cayenne. Can he get the ball in? It's almost there. There he goes. Durtho bringing Boise up 2-0, just under 2 minutes left to go.
I'm just feeling all of this. The flip reset off of the ceiling to just keep this ball rolling. If Durtho has the ball in midair and there's no one directly challenging him in a 50, you can pretty well bet money that that ball's going in the goal soon.
Yeah, BU taking that ball right up. Boise is not there to defend except for Gill. He's right there. Nobody from San Jose is able to connect with the ball, and the goal is wide open. Gill gets the ball in, bumping Boise State up to a 3-0 lead. 1:20 left to go.
It was a great setup from the Spartans, but I don't know whether to say it was just, playoff nerves or something like that, but both of the people who could have followed up on it just kind of whiffed at the very end. So now Boise State in a very commanding lead, 3-0 with 1:20 left. Ace pushing one to mid. BU to make the shot on goal, but can't get it past Durtho, who will be there with a solid save. Gill, fresh off the 100, will pass to Woozy in mid. Now Woozy places it across midfield, going to contest against Kai and fakes him out, puts him out underneath, and great tag team with Woozy to get another goal.
Wow. The control that we have seen out of Boise State in this game has been unreal, and not to mention the demos. This has just been textbook Doc's plays to the game demos. Cayenne, I think, has been on the bad end of a demolition more times than anybody else in this match, and I think that's what's allowed Boise State to just get all of these goals super well. Durtho's able to get that ball over to their side. Gill putting up a pretty good shot on goal, just nobody's there to receive. Nobody really has any boost, but now the ball is in middle. No one's really in possession. Gill manages to get it over to that corner, and now all Boise State has to do is play a little bit of defense.
They only have to run out the timer at 45 seconds, but they're going to do better than that. They're going to place a shot on goal, and BU's going to be right there just in time with the rotation. Be able to save. Now Cayenne moving back up the field. Gill and BU in a 50. Gill wins it handily with the pass to Woozy mid. Now it's going to set it up for Durtho for the final shot off the backboard. Follow up by Woozy. And Ace drops down just in time. And Boise State leaves an open goal, which the Spartans will get their first goal on.
What a good shot off the Spartans. They just took advantage of all of Boise State offense being in one spot. Nobody was really able to get back. But Durtho, with his ability to get that ball right in front of the goal, it was just unfortunate they didn't have quite the angles to get that into the goal. Going into what could be the last touch-off, Gill gets that ball, but BU is going to take control right towards Boise's goal. It goes off the crossbar. BU getting the second goal for SJSU.
Very nice cheat by BU, hanging out as both teams kind of end up in a wash after the first contest. He cheats up off the kickoff, slides one in right, bouncing off the crossbar. And this is actually really good if you're a Spartans fan. Getting these sort of goals, even if it doesn't outright win game one, it's a great morale booster. Kind of have to reset everything before we go into game two. And that's a really nice save by Cayenne. They do want to stop a goal by Boise State. They don't want to end on a sour note if you're a Spartans fan. Boise State is trying to push it in, and the ball's high up in the air. Fresh
Whoa! There goes Gill.
And Gill to blunt any sort of momentum the Spartans might have after those two goals, ending the game officially at a 5-2 scoreline.
Wow, what a good offensive game from Boise State. And honestly, the defense out of San Jose wasn't too terrible either. They had a ton of really good saves, but the demolitions coming out of Boise was what kind of put them over the edge.
I grant you the shots on goal, the defense from San Jose State University was great, but I'll counter in that. Look at those shots on goal ratio, 81% to 19. Basically, for every shot San Jose State had at Boise State's goal, Boise State was out shooting them 4-1. That's just a great example of the great talent you can have here at Boise State Esports, and we're always looking for new players and broadcast talent to join our roster. Great ability along with good grades can increase your chances to be on our team. So for more information on how to join Boise State Esports as a student, you can visit our website at www.boisestate.edu/esports. All right, so here we go into game number 2 for both of these teams. San Jose State University showing a little bit of life towards the end there, but Boise State just really starting to run away with it as soon as they got the first goal on the board. And we move on to Forbidden Temple now in game 2. Boise State already off to a good start. Remember, we all predicted maybe at least one game, and I will grant the Spartans, until the Broncos had kind of their first goal that led to the Avalanche, it was pretty even for the first 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, the offense and defense has been really even in like the first 2 minutes. It was just that one goal off of the like from the ceiling straight to the floor that really kind of put a damper on the Spartans offense. We see Gill bringing it up towards the goal. Can he get an early lead? Durtho with the ball gets blocked by BU just barely. Woozy is able to keep it up in the air though, away from the Spartans. Gill is going to try and take this away from BU, but just doesn't quite get there in time. Durtho is on the ball as always. He's going to get that ball in the air, taken away by BU. He's doing a pretty good job of keeping stuff away. What a good save out of Gill, even if it's not reciprocated by the match chat. Out goes Gil with the ball once again, almost stopped by Cayenne, but Durtho takes it over. Is this going to be the first goal for Boise? Nope. Ace is going to take that ball away, but now Woozy has control of the ball, passing it to Durtho. Is this it? Is this the first goal? No! Off the crossbar, just barely. But Boise is still in firm control of this ball.
What I like seeing from the Spartans right now is they know how important that backboard defense is. If Boise State hits it off the backboard, you know a follow-up shot is coming through, so they're usually having one player hanging right above that goal to push it back out to midfield. Meanwhile, Broncos still maintaining a good bit of side control. BU will be there. He's the one backboard defending this time. Takes it back to mid. Woozy now to contest in midfield as they deny the Spartans a full clear. Great opportunity for the Broncos. They're trying to center it up, but Durtho will not be there for the shot. However, Gil keeps things going. Centers it again. Durtho too far back on the field, though, to follow up. So Boise State will just play it slow, play it safe, and try to look for a better opportunity to get their first goal.
Yeah, Durtho keeping this ball in the air. Almost shot on goal by Woozy, just a little bit off angle. Oh, out goes the demo by Durtho. Is this going to be it? No, BU is just right there playing stonewall defense. Now Ace is with the ball, fighting for Durtho with that boost. Ace is going to end up with it. Oh wait, no, it was Durtho who ended up with the boost. That's going to be a little bit harder for San Jose to push up with. Gil and Durtho trying to get this ball back onto San Jose's side. And San Jose has had a really defensive game so far. Gil is going to be there, though. He's going to get that ball away from him. And now it looks like they're just playing for midfield control. No one's really been able to get that ball out of there and get a good shot on goal so far. But San Jose bringing it right over to Boise's side. Is this going to be a Gil with the save? What a save out of Gil.
Oh, here it is.
Woozy gets that goal, prevents that goal. He doesn't get the goal yet, but he looks like he will. There goes Woozy with the first goal of the game.
Like Chekhov's gun, I was very worried about BU's lack of boost. You can see here his tank is completely empty, so he has the right idea in trying to go back and get the shot. If he had boost, that would have been a perfectly timed rotation. Just wasn't there for him. I was worried about the lack of boost he had when they were offensive pushing, and it came back to bite him a few seconds later with a quick shot on goal by Ace. He has been feisty this game, getting a lot of kind of unexpected shots on goal just like that.
Yeah, we can follow Woozy now, trying to get that ball back. Cayenne is going to get another tap off the ball. It's not going to quite go in the goal, but with Woozy on full boost, he's got a lot of opportunity to make a play here. Looks like Ace is going to try and block. He is going to get it. Durtho unable to find the demo, but Cayenne almost scoring on his own goal, but they're able to block it. He doesn't connect. Out goes Ace trying to get that ball away from him. Ball's going towards Boise's side. Gil is able to take it away, but pays the ultimate price and gets demoed in the process. Woozy is still there on goal, though, and is going to take it away. Durtho with the ball in air. This is a dangerous spot. Nobody's on defense right now for San Jose, and they've managed to get there just in time.
Ace now looking to wrestle the ball away from Boise State, but again, he has no boost. Neither does Cayenne, and they cannot contest Boise State in midair like this. BU does have boost and manages to get the save, but it seems like the Spartans are continually running on fumes. So important that you not only claim those 100 boosts in the corner, but all those little yellow spots you see on the field give you just a little bit more boost, and making sure you adjust your course to always make sure you're full up is what allows these great midair plays that we're seeing.
Yeah, out comes Woozy with the ball control, trying to get up in that corner. He's done a pretty good job, like you said earlier, about getting those 100 boosts. He seems to almost always be full, and he has the boost advantage on Cayenne. Is able to slip around Ace, but BU, once again, in defensive position, is just able to completely shut him out. Woozy's able to get that ball into Durtho's hands, but just unable to find a really good place to shoot it from. Gil is able to prevent a Spartan lead, but Woozy is now there to stop Ace. Durtho's kind of in the goal now, but Gil is able to stop it. BU's trying to get it away from him, but they are just not finding any openings in this Boise defense.
Oh, double commit by Boise State. Little bit dangerous as it leaves the goal open, but the ball trickles off to the side that they'll be able to walk away. Cayenne trying to beat Gil to the punch with a shot on goal. So does Ace. Cayenne trying to stop the save, but as he gets up on the wall, he runs out of boost, but a pass toward the goal. BU coming in, bounces right off of Woozy. Able to read that shot well. Now just 10 seconds left. Boise State holding on to a narrow one-goal lead as San Jose State University has been pelting them with shot after shot.
Yeah, 4 seconds left to go. Can Boise keep this ball on the ground and away from San Jose? And round two is going to Boise State, bringing them up 2-0.
Well, but things are, if you look at the general stats, things are starting to even out little by little. I think the main thing for San Jose State University, like I said, the broken record is going to make sure to fill up on boost, especially the ones in their own territory, right in their own corners on the blue side of the field. Boise State consistently, when they had ball possession up against San Jose State University's goal, were consistently stealing them away from the Spartans, boost starving them, and not allowing them to do too much. Well, Idaho's 529 Education Savings Plan is an ideal way to save for college. You can make gift giving easy this year with a gift that won't break, is always the right size, and will make a lasting impression and give you a gift back. Considering giving the gift of education savings by opening or contributing to an ideal 529 college savings account this holiday season. Provide the gift by December 31st, and you also receive 2024 tax savings. You can learn more at idsaves.org. As we are ready to head into the third match, Boise State now 2-0 in the overall match. They are halfway to that trophy we saw in the studio. 2 wins down, 2 more needed.
Yeah, San Jose has done a really good job so far at keeping up the defense. We saw BU a lot of the time staying in that goal line, trying to not necessarily punish, but break through the Boise State strategy of just bouncing the ball off the backdrop and then immediately following up. But what Boise State is also doing to San Jose is just starving them of any power to boost, moving straight into the match. Cayenne gets a pretty good place to be on goal, but Woozy's able to take it away from them, moving back over to their side of the field. Woozy, goals uncontested. Durtho might get this one. Nope, it just goes off the top. Cayenne is able to get there and save it. But now we turn to Gill, who sets it up really nice. Woozy's unable to get there. Ace playing defense. Woozy now trying to take middle. Durtho is also there with the ball, and he's going to take it up. Woozy off the backboard. Nobody's there to follow up. But also San Jose is triple stacking on the ball. This is dangerous. If they have if anything goes wrong, they could open themselves up to a pretty easy goal.
Yeah, it's putting all your chips in the middle, going all in, and not too much advantage to show for it. Very little situations where having everyone go for the ball at the same time. I mean, unless it's to stop the ball and make it go into overtime. Yeah, very risky. But now BU now with a pass up midfield. Good opportunity. Gets Lucy off the backboard. Follow-up cuts through for Cayenne. And a save right there by Gill. Off into the corner. That was very clutch by Boise State. But more games that go by, the more life we see from the Spartans.
Yeah, what a play out of the Spartans. I mean, they didn't end up getting the goal, but they came as close as they'd come all game. Gill is able to take that ball away from BU, negating any chance at him getting that ball set up. Woozy's going to take the ball, though. Can he get it to the goal? Nope. It's going to go to that corner, and it's going to get punched away by the Spartans. Cayenne is on the ball right now, trying to get something off the goal.
There we go.
But BU right there to match. Gets their first goal of the game.
Absolutely beautifully played there. You can see Durtho is the main defender, and crucially now you look at all the boost gauges. Boise State was out of boost there when that goal went in, so it just shows how important that resource is for being able to move quickly and get these saves.
Yeah, Durtho's going to get first touch. BU is probably going to get over there. He's full on boost this time. He gets that ball down, and we do see the demo, but the ball does not get into a good spot. Woozy's able to play some really good defense and get it out of there. But that doesn't mean they're out of the woods yet. Spartans still have control of the ball on Boise's side, but they're quickly losing it to Durtho and Woozy. Gill is right there to reciprocate, though, but Durtho's going to get that ball over to Woozy, who's on full boost this time. Gets taken away by the Spartans. Durtho is able to snag that full boost, though, so he's got a lot of resources to work with.
Ace with a shot on the goal. Double commit by Boise on the save. They'll walk away from it. Gill with plenty of boost will set it up for Durtho and Woozy. They both go for it again. That's 2 double commits back to back, and they almost pay for it dearly with a shot on goal from the Spartans. Things looking a little wobbly for the Broncos as we cross the halfway point.
Ooh, yeah, Ace is able to keep control of that ball, but Woozy's just there to take it away. Cayenne is also there to back up his teammate, but the ball is still on their side in a dangerous spot. But BU's there, always on that top bar, trying to get that ball away from him. Woozy's going to try and commit to this ball. He does get it up in the air, but is anybody there to reciprocate it? Nope, nobody is there, but all Boise State is on full boost. And looking at Spartans, only BU has their...
Oh, huge!
But that ends up, Durtho gets the first goal of the match for Boise and ties it up 1-1.
And it is all by himself. He fakes out just about everybody. BU, oh man, had a dead eye on that shot. Thinks Durtho was going to go lower, so he dropped down, and Durtho immediately adjusted to drive it on into the goal.
Yeah, what a play out of Boise. They just had more boost control. BU was the only one who could actually do anything defensively with his boost, but now we see Durtho with the ball once again, and once more, Spartans are starved for boost. We see Gil going up with the ball. Is this going to be it? No. It just barely blocked by Ace, but Woozy's there right to get that ball in. Doesn't quite get it, but Durtho is still keeping that pressure on their side of the map. Gil unable to get that ball back to the goal, and Cayenne goes up for the shot. Woozy blocks it, reciprocated by Gil. Nobody's at the goal though. BU might have a shot here. Woozy's gonna take it off the backboard, but the Spartans are still in offensive play.
Oh, very good shot by Ace to set it up yet again, but one of his teammates pushes it off into the corner. Oh, that's a painful whiff to have if you're a Spartan. And now we are just above 1 minute with it tied 1-all. Both teams looking like they might be heading toward overtime unless something can be scored like right here, but BU has the save. Quick shot and counterattack by the Spartans. Boise State has to watch out here.
Yeah, Gil trying to get that ball away from him. Durtho is able to play some pretty good defense, get that ball away from him. Woozy ends up with the ball. Goal is wide open. Can he get it in? He does. Boise leads 2-1. Less than a minute to go.
And you just see right here, Cayenne. He knows the ball's going in, is trying his best to get there, but he does not have anything to work with. Can only go at the base speed for his car. But 1 minute, practically a minute left on the time. Still plenty of time for the Spartans to make another goal, but Durtho wants to keep that from happening. Maybe just get an insurance goal right here to ensure Boise State win. Off the backboard, they're trying to set it up as Woozy goes in, and BU will go in to defuse the situation, push it off to the corner.
Yeah, but once again, we see Boise has all of the boost. Spartans have almost nothing to work with. Durtho's going to play a lot of good defense with that boost, and he's taking it away from Spartans. They're still in a good spot to go here. Woozy is able to take that ball away from him. He's not giving them a shot to get this ball into the goal. Cayenne bringing it up once more, but no one's there to take it away. Durtho gets that ball right back to center field. He's going to take it away from him. 13 seconds left to go. Boise State in firm control of this ball. Gil trying to get that ball away from him.
This is huge.
Almost with the goal. Woozy able to get the stop. Cayenne trying to get that ball back to him. All they have to do is keep it in the air, but Boise manages to get it down. They win round 3.
But if you look at the stats here, something very crucial has happened. San Jose State University now leads in shots on goal. And I think, again, that boost resource, had they had it, that 54% shots on goal, that probably trickles up to maybe 60 or 65%, because you have those teammates who can get back there fast, get a quick follow-up shot on the goal, and usually once the defending team has committed one of their defenders, that's when you make the plays. Well, esports fans, while you're here cheering for the best in gaming, we want to introduce you to the MVPs of painting, Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they're proud to be Boise's go-to team of local multi-generational painters who know exactly how to level up your home. Whether it's a stunning interior makeover or a flawless exterior refresh, they specialize in bringing your vision to life with precision and care only seasoned pros can deliver. So while you dominate the competition in the virtual arena, let Blue Ribbon Painting dominate your paint game for your home. You can call 208-369-BLUE or visit blueribbonpainting.net to schedule your free estimate. Well, Boise State now finds themselves at match point, only one more win, and they will walk home with that beautiful trophy we saw earlier today. We are heading on to Utopia, round 4.
Yeah, I will say we've seen a lot more life out of the Spartans in the last round. Even though they weren't quite able to get the win, I think that they're starting to build up more of a strategy around Boise State. We saw earlier that they were able to get those goals that they hadn't been able to in the first 2 rounds. Or in the first round, I should say. Gil is going to get that ball away from the goal, denying any sort of chance at
my goodness.
Spartans going in, but Cayenne is there. Clean defense out of the Spartans. And looking at it, Boise is now on the reciprocating end of having no boost, but no one's there to guard the goal. It doesn't matter. Durtho is so far ahead, he gets that goal, boost and all.
Yeah, wow. I'm not quite sure what happened here. BU, he had the boost, but he flubs his rotation. He cannot get back there fast enough. That's so odd there. He had everything he needed to get back there, but which wasn't to be.
Yeah, you see Woozy with the ball now, full boost out of him. He's got a lot of room to make plays, but looks like the Spartans learned from their mistake last time, and they are going to play a little bit more defensively this time. Durtho bringing that ball right back to center court. Gil with the shot, but Ace coming around with the defense. Gil's going to get that ball close to the goal, almost gets it in, but 3 stack on the defense makes things a little bit more tricky.
Oh, they lose the dribble midway through. Durtho pass to Gale, now to Woozy. All 3 of them get in on the shot, and BU will deny them with a shot back to mid, leaves them tracing after it. Woozy and Durtho refill on boost. Cayenne comes in for a quick shot and can't get it. Now in goes Ace as Boise State commits another. Durtho will rotate back. Now tries to get the play over. Cayenne does, but BU denies him on the wall. Boise State having to deal with a good number of shots coming through from the Spartans, but that's a great 50 by Gil to pass to Durtho. He's going to try to set it up or center, but he doesn't get the touch he wanted. Oh,
there goes the demo.
Boise State now looking to regain control of this ball. Cayenne coming on in for the shot, and it's blocked.
Yeah, blocked by Woozy once again. Ace is going to try and get a shot on goal. The defender's been demoed, but Durtho right back in time. Able to block that goal, and Woozy is now in control of the ball, looking for a shot or at least a setup on goal. Is he going to get it? No. Ace and Cayenne just right there, as they have been this entire series. Gil is going to try again to get it up there. Durtho's actually going to put it next to the goal. Hannity followed up by Woozy. Is it going to? Cayenne right there with the save. And a demo, too, to top it off on Gil.
3 minutes, though, still left for an equalizer to be scored by the Spartans. Cayenne, nice contest on that ball. Woozy can't get the move, and he's got the equalizer right there. Spartans are back in this game.
Wow, what a shot out of the Spartans. Just taking advantage of a lack of defense out of Boise and just able to get that ball into the goal. That was kind of an unfortunate goal for Boise State, but everything is on the line for the Spartans right now. This game means them going home early without a win to their name. Woozy is going to take that ball up onto the side, and he might get a shot on goal here, but Ace is right there playing defense. The defense game has been a bright spot on the Spartans, on the Spartans' entire team for this entire game. But can they find a crack in this defense? Durtho's going to try and bring that ball up. No, is there a reciprocate? Oh, unfortunate. Woozy was trying to get that boost and was just unable to get anything out of it. But we still are playing on Boise State's side of the court. BU taking it over, but he has no boost. He can't do anything with it. Ace is going to get that ball towards the goal, but Woozy, he's there to stop it. And Cayenne is there to reciprocate for his friend Gil, and Durtho both playing in goal, making it really hard to get a shot off.
Oh, this dangerous right in front of going to whip on the save, and Ace is there to read it. Oh, dangerous scenario for San Jose State University. Durtho can't get that forceful a touch. He ran out of boost, and so the ball very easy to answer back. Oh, the Spartans might have had an opportunity there, but Woozy is able to fake them out. Get back some side control for the Broncos. Gil with a block on a shot up. Woozy to body it in. Sneak it in with 1:46 left.
Wow, what a play. Just sneaking it right past the defense. Ace almost had that too. If you just would have rolled maybe a second sooner, that would have been a dangerous spot for Boise to be in now that with San Jose having the ball. But we are moving in. This might be the last rally. It's 2-1, around less than 2 minutes left to go. Can San Jose put another goal on the board to keep them in this game?
Ace has to block this shot by Gil, and it's set up, and here comes Durtho with the shot, and he got it! Boise State making their win seem all the more certain now, going 3-1.
Man, I thought an alley-oop was part of basketball, not Rocket League.
You certainly, it's just leaving it up there for the follow-up, and Boise State is so dependable on those follow-ups.
Yeah, Durtho as well, just able to get that ball in a seemingly bad situation and turn it into a good one. Speaking of Durtho, he's going to take that ball right to the goal. Is he going to get it in? No, stopped by Cayenne in the last second.
BU, now comes in. Kind of a gingerly shot toward mid. Double commit by the Broncos, and Durtho makes contact with it, but that could have been a little bit dangerous here. I would say now is probably the best opportunity for the Spartans, although that shot from Gil is set up. Another one. Oh, and it might have just flown them on by.
Oh, but Durtho with the ball, almost getting it in off the crossbar, just barely, but Gil's going to keep it in their play. San Jose continuing to play defense. Cayenne is able to block that ball and get it right back towards the corner. He's able to take advantage of the 100 boost for once. Durtho doesn't have it, but no one's on goal. Durtho gets one more goal, widening their lead to 4-1.
And they were wondering in the studio, they were trying to predict who would get the first hat trick. The answer is Durtho. He might have the first and only hat trick for the match, getting 3 goals in Game 4.
All right, Durtho is going to get a first touch, but Ace and Cayenne are taking it away from him. Boise State is able to get that ball away from their goal. Gil is trying to expand his lead just a little bit more. He doesn't want the hat trick to go to Durtho, even though he wants to win. Durtho is able to get that ball up there. Is anybody able to get to it? Can he get that ball in? BU is able to block it, though, keeping San Jose in the game. Ace is going to take that ball over to Boise State's goal, blocked by Gil, just barely, but they're going to get that ball off the crossbar. BU is able to get that ball. He's not able to touch in time.
And now the time is ticking down with virtually nothing left for the Spartans. It seems that Boise State is going to walk away from this with a 4-0 sweep and claim their 14th Mountain West Championship since the start of the program. Everyone goes wild, and the Broncos can hold their heads up high. You can see Durtho also. You can tell he's definitely feeding off the energy in the arena.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Honestly, I think the whole team was feeding off the energy. You could see it throughout the entire game. They did not want to let all these good people down. They sure as heck didn't. 4-0 is nothing to be mad at. That is awesome.
Now, this is the very cool thing. Not only do they know they've got the win here, but they get a little bit more cheering later on in the day because, as we alluded to yesterday, we had the Mountain West Final in football. We've got a finals game going on in basketball across the street at Idaho Central Arena. During halftime for that game, the Broncos are going to walk out on the arena and be presented with the Mountain West Trophy for more recognition there. So Boise State making sure they have a fun day today.
Oh, yeah, this is a good day to be a Boise State fan, honestly. Whether it be a member of football or a fan of the Esports League, Boise State has had a very good season. And honestly, I honestly think they did a really good job today. I just hope they don't slip on the ice rink today.
Well, while Doc gives the team a bit of a pep talk and lines them all up ready for the official team photo, we also just want to give a shout out to another one of our sponsors, Dairy West. We would like to thank local dairy farm families as proud fueling partners of our BSU esports athletes. Dairy foods provide the protein to build, hydration to recover, and natural electrolytes to replenish post-activity. Fuel your greatness with dairy. You love to hear it. You love to hear that school spirit right there. And there you're looking at them, the Mountain West champions, yet again adding another trophy to their already, I would say, quite capacious trophy cabinet.
Yeah, they're going to have to buy another trophy cabinet here pretty quick if they keep up play like this.
Okay, but we have to speculate one more thing, and that's one particular player that we want to highlight for the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Who's your nomination?
Honestly, I'd put it up with Durtho. I mean, I know it's the safe choice here, but honestly, it would be between him and Woozy, just with their ability to get those shots on goal. I think Durtho just kind of slightly edges him out. He did a little bit more in the game. I would say both those players are good, but I'd give it to Durtho.
Well, I agree with you completely, except I don't. I am actually going to give the nod to Gil because he was the one who came in. There was the topic earlier on, is Gil washed? Does he still have what it takes to be able to lead the Broncos to a conference victory? And Gil, the great thing about him is not only is he such a great defensive player, he's there as kind of the Iron Curtain for Boise State, making sure no goals get through, but then he can switch around so fast to get back up the field and set one up for Woozy or Durtho. These players have played so long together, they mesh so well together. So those would be our nominations for the player of the game, brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like how Idaho Central helps their members achieve financial success. Well, that was such a great game, and do we get a... It looks like we get the final nomination from production team. It is going to be Durtho, I believe. Yes, Durtho is the official player of the game for the Mountain West Championship.
What an interesting game. I will say, even though it was a 4-0, we did see a lot of life out of the Spartans, and they did a really good job playing on the defense here.
I mean, also when he's the only one to get a hat trick for the game, it's hard to argue with that. That's a pure stat thing you have going for you. Well, that does it for a very exciting championship game between Boise State and San Jose State University. The Broncos win yet another one, but we have all sorts of exciting post-game content to bring to you. We're going to hand it back to Audrey and Darren in the studio to talk more about how the Broncos did and maybe give them a few grades as they put on their professor hats. Take it away for us in the studio.
Thank you so much, Jacob and Bryce. And wow, what an incredible match we just watched. I think it's amusing that all of our predictions as casters kind of were a little bit off. We still got the hat trick, we still got the 4 wins, but overall it was a match that was completely unexpected from all of our precedents. So honestly, just some incredible plays all around.
Yeah, Boise State played their hearts out. They did an amazing job today playing against that SJSU roster. And I mean, we see it 4-0 as the final score, and they made sure to close out really quick.
Yeah, though with the 4-0, there was still some intense back and forth between the teams to really kind of crack the ice and see who was going to be able to carry the game forward to victory. And I think in the spirit of academia, we thought it would be best to actually review each of the team's performance by giving them grades on how well they played. I mean, after all, this is collegiate esports. So in the spirit of finals week and dead week coming up and the end of the season to close off with a champion Mountain West championship match, I think it's a good time to kind of look through and discuss where the wins and maybe some improvement could be for both teams. So starting off with rotations, let's kind of talk about that a little bit.
For the sake of Boise State, I gotta say rotations, I think they did a really good job, especially in the latter half of the series where, you know, everything was kind of culminating and it was all really coming down to the wire. I think at the beginning it was a little rough. I feel like I saw quite a few double commits, especially in that first game. Overall, I'm gonna give them, for rotations, like a B+.
B+, yeah. I think that I can see that, yeah, considering, you know, rotations overall, like that was where SJSU was able to kind of crack through and get a couple of those really good points off on Boise State. Talking about SJSU, San Jose, how they were playing throughout that, I think they had some really solid rotations, but I don't think they were quite as strong near the end as Boise State. Like, they did a really good job in those first 2 matchups, those first 2 games. They locked it down. They kept the defense up. They really didn't let Boise State through. But there were, in the last couple matches, a lot of those, like, first, like, easy, well, not easy goals, but a couple of those goals were due to rotations where they weren't expecting someone to break through. So I would say probably closer to a B-, C+ area for their rotations through that. Though rotations are important, the next thing obviously is always going to be the teamwork. You can, as it does lead into rotations and how play is going to be affected.
Yeah, and I think for Boise State, I think teamwork, automatic A. I feel like that's just the key piece of their offense. It is every touch that they make is either a pass to someone else or a solo play. And I feel like a lot of times out of 10, we're seeing it be a pass to a teammate, like across the midfield, getting a shot on net. I feel like that's how their gameplay works.
Yeah, so letter rating, what would you think?
Easy A.
Easy A for Boise State, yeah. I mean, teamwork makes the dream work, and a lot of the best plays we saw, I think, from Boise State were those team ball passes where someone sets it up and someone comes in. I think one of my favorite things that I saw was when Uzi and Durtho tried to get a shot, and Gil was the one who kind of came in to help them finish it up. For SJSU, I also think their teamwork was really, really good throughout the matchups. They were not holding back. Anytime that they needed to stop Boise State from advancing, it was one person there with backup and or someone ready to set up and deal with anything related. So I would also give them, I think, an A-. They did have a couple like miscommunication moments where Boise State were able to just kind of hammer it and continue through, but overall, their teamwork was really solid as to be expected for a championship match.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and jumping into, I think, our next topic as well, car control. You know, this isn't normal soccer, we're driving cars, so how are we handling the steering wheel, keeping the game ready and running as we're driving around?
Oh, for BSU, I mean, I feel like majority of that series we were in the SJSU half. They had all the control, and even when it comes to like mechanical control, like they just had it locked down for Boise State. I think another A for them.
Yeah, although I think SJSU wasn't doing as much like aerial control or really ball control, like overall, like they did have some really good moments. Something that I'd love to highlight for SJSU was how they were using the advantage of waiting to call and catch Boise State when they just did not have the opportunity where they could better like catch the ball, prevent a goal just by waiting. And I think that restraint is a really incredible thing to have when you're driving around at like, you know, Mach 10, you're getting those boosts, you're running around, you're trying to get any bounces. To be able to recognize when you need to stop and recognize that that is like the best call is a big part of that control, just as much as being able to bounce the ball or keep yourself in the air. So I would give them a solid A+ on that one. They did a really good job managing their vehicles.
Yeah, when you can instantaneously change the pace of the play, that's the best thing that you can do, either on an offense or a defense, because it can catch out offenders or defenders out so fast because they're trying to play to that pace, and then if you slow it down or speed it up, they can get caught out. They're like, oh crap, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Now, speaking of resource management and making sure that you're set up, boost management, kind of the name of the game, right? If you're not managing your boost, like you're not going fast, you're not getting your goals. So how do we think the teams overall were able to handle that one?
I think in the sake of Boise State, I think that, I mean, you know, they made sure that they had boost 9 times out of 10. And the biggest thing for me with boost is that they were able to steal a lot of boost. They were able to keep San Jose to a minimum a lot of the times, and I think that they were able to, you know, continue that offense a lot because they were stealing all those boosts. So I'd probably give them probably an A.
I would agree with that. I think looking at San Jose, they never caught a break with boost management, really. They did really well with what they had, but Boise State just denied any ability for them to get in the air, to really use their boost. They had to rely on a lot of groundwork, a lot of the mini boosts, demoing people to get them out of the way, but in a lot of cases, they just did not get that opportunity, and that was to the credit of Boise State really managing their boost. So I think this is an area where SJSU really struggled overall, and so I'd say C+ at that point. They did not get to go as far as they wanted to.
Yeah, but that's just the problem with our Boise State offense. It's just so unrelenting. It's hard to really get a play made.
Yeah, well, not a problem for us, but a problem for everyone they're facing.
Seriously.
And with all of that, we've got to go to, you know, the part that everyone gets to watch, the flashy, the fun, the showiness of both teams as they were duking it out for this championship matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the name of the game for these players. I mean, they have the mechanical ability to pull out these players out of nowhere, especially, you know, if it's like the biggest of moments. And I think for them, I don't think we saw the most mechanical plays ever, but we definitely saw some big ones. And I think for them, I'm going to give them a solid A-.
Yeah, I think that SJSU was not able to be as flashy in this matchup as they wanted to be. They had an iron-locked defense throughout the matches, but there was quite a few times where they just did not get those opportunities to set up those cool matchups, those really fun shots. They did get a couple. There was some really good, I believe, the dump that we saw where we were not expecting them to get past Woozy, but then he just kind of bounced it over and it went straight into the goal. And you and I were talking about this. We're like, where did that come from?
Yeah.
How did that one happen? So that one was really incredible, and I was very excited for that. So overall, I would give them a solid B on that one. They got some like really good ones. They got a really incredible dump off on the goal and definitely put Boise State on the back foot with a couple really flashy goals. So I think just kind of wrapping up with all of those, what's your overall thoughts on the performance of both teams and their letter grade?
I think overall, I mean, both teams played great. I mean, you made it this far. You made it to the grand champion. Obviously, you're going to be playing at your best. And I think for Boise State, I think an overall, I think like an A- is reasonable. I think like they played awesome, but obviously there's always stuff you can work on.
Yeah, I mean, the name of the game is growing, learning, and continuing to play. Every season is a new opportunity to grow and learn. And I think for San Jose to get here and to put up as much of a fight and iron defense that they did in a lot of cases, Boise State really had to work to crack through it at the beginning of those first couple matches before they were able to get the pacing. And especially how, although their defense did start to crack, other pacing did start to catch up. Overall, I think they did a very good job with that. They weren't able to compete at the end with Boise State, and they did get the 4-0, but I would say B- is a really good place for them to be. They worked and fought their heart out. So overall, good job from both teams. And any final thoughts on this?
Honestly, I mean, we've seen the best of the best come out and play, and I think that, you know, the winners tonight, Boise State, they've deserved it. They've fought their hearts out this season, and they've proved it. They proved themselves.
Yeah. And with that, I think that's kind of our overall wrap-up of like what these teams are doing. It was an incredible showing from both of them, and as we get ready to close out the Mountain West Championships, we do get the opportunity for some insight into the matchup. So stay tuned and make sure that you're here for the break, after the break, because we will be interviewing Durtho on how Boise State's matchup went.
Home is where you hang your hat, snuggle up, Hideout. Home is when you're with the ones you love. It isn't just a place, it's a state of mind. At Idaho Central Credit Union, our home is Idaho. We grew up here, and we're proud to help more Idahoans with their home loan than any other financial institution. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe home is where you make it.
Life happens. Lucky for you, the new ICCU Central Plus checking account comes with benefits, including cell phone protection.
Wait, through my ICCU checking account?
That's right. Along with a whole lot of other benefits you might need. Because being human is a full-time job.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. We have Dirtho with us right now to talk about the amazing win that they were able to achieve in the Mountain West Championship. First of all, congratulations, Dirtho. That is an amazing win, a 4-0 at the end of the championship. Great place to be. Talk us through where you kind of were in the matchup. You know, there was a lot of back and forth, but overall, you guys were able to kind of keep control and stay confident so far?
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, the opponents we're going against are all very good players. One of the players named BU, he's a retired bubble player. Really, really solid guy. You know, we saw him go for things that, you know, we're not really used to sometimes, you know, but we had to learn and adapt. And overall, you know, we felt very confident up there. You know, we're cracking jokes, having fun. You know, and at the end of the day, we came up on top, so that's what matters.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, right, that's what you got to do if you want to keep the morale in the championship, stay cool, comfortable, and have as much fun as you possibly can. With that, I mean, we saw after you won, there's a huge crowd that was here to cheer everyone on, and you guys got to talk with some people. Who are some of the supporters that came out to cheer you guys on for the winning event?
Well, we had a lot of supporters. I mean, honestly, like, my uncle was here, you know, some friends from church were here, and honestly, I couldn't just be more blessed. You know, I love seeing everybody, you know, standing up and seeing the crowd. It's something a player could always dream of. And to actually have that, it's a blessing.
Yeah, I mean, we saw in the arena just how many people were cheering everyone on. It was an incredible amount of people to just show off and be here and celebrate you guys. I mean, even before the matchup, we could hear through the mics people going, Boise State, the cowbells, the screams, the cheers. It was an awesome thing to be able to see. Though now as we're kind of just looking forward to the future, I mean, you and I have the same graduation year. You're going to be hopefully, you know, both of us graduating 2026, looking towards the seasons afterwards. What's the plans?
When it comes to Rocket League, you know, we're right now preparing for the spring split. You know, I think we're really excited, you know, with the loss of Preston this past semester, you know, and then bringing back my boy Gil. You know, nothing new, but we just have to learn and adapt, you know, and then Preston's going to be able to come back this upcoming spring, and we're excited to ball out. You know, there's a lot of great teams in collegiate right now. So
excited to compete against some more people, continue forward?
Oh, yeah, we want to be at the top, you know, because at the end of the day, that's what we want. We're a bunch of dogs, you know, we want to win, and we're trying not to stay content, is what I can say.
That's the name of the game, right? Compete, learn, grow, rinse and repeat until you graduate and you continue on. Well, do you have any other final thoughts after the game that you want to share out?
I say, I think is this 3 Mountain West wins I have under my belt?
So, yeah.
2? I think we got to go for 4, maybe 5 if I get my master's, you know, maybe make the whole.
get the whole hand,
little
yeah.
Tom Brady, yeah.
Get all the rings on, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see in the future. Go for that number 4 for the degree. Maybe see if we'll continue forward. But with that will be the matchup for tonight. Once again, congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to Boise State, and thank you for joining us for this incredible Mountain West Championship for 2024. We had an awesome game, and we're so excited to have you all here. So as we wrap up, we do have some top 5 plays of the game to show off to everyone, just the awesome highlights, and we're so excited to see you all so that's all for today, and we hope to see you next time.
They don't want to end on a sour note if you're a Spartans fan. Boise State is trying to push it in, and the ball's high up in the air.